So, welcome back to my little Stationeers tutorial introduction thingy. This is part 2. We have our little base here, where we can open our helmet and actually eat and drink something. Maybe we should do that. I mean, look at this here. 15%. One thing I did right before this video is I went out and mined a little, so because it's kind of boring to show on video. That's the second best sound in the game. The first best is when these bottles get refilled. This tomato soup thing you can actually produce yourself eventually, and it's super effective. I mean, I just ate, how much was that? I don't know, but I'm at 91 here. This I can eat for hours from this thing. Okay, now here we have an airlock that we made, but it sucks because it's not automagic, and if I forget to suck out the air, or if I leave the outer door open, or if for whatever reason everything is configured for inside, like it is right now, and somehow magically I appear on the outside, or some other player, for example, does, they will not be able to operate it without some shit happening, you know? So let's make a better airlock then. One that is really automatic. Step 1, let's remove the air. Oh, step 0, close the helmet. Set to inward so that it sucks into those pipes. That should be it. Yep. Airlocks have their own like a motherboard that controls them, and there are two different types. The advanced airlock and the simple airlock, or just airlock. And to set one up, you need a console, and you have to put the respective board inside. The consoles can do all kinds of things. This is a kit again. Let me scroll through. Here we have a large LED display, which can display numbers. Medium size, small size. This one's red because here you actually need 3 of these consoles in your immediate hand to build the big one. Oh, there's some diagonal one too, yeah. And dual, I don't actually remember what exactly that was. Anyway, so just a console. I will set it up here at eye height. And we want to wire that up. That's not the one. That's the one. What we will also need is the sensors. So I played this before. The sensor, the gas sensor, there are actually several sensors in this kit. Let's look at those. Here we have the daylight sensor, which gives us, for example, the information of the angle of the sun, which can be used to control grow lights for plants or whatever you want to do with that information. There's a proximity sensor, which you can adjust for a minimum and maximum distance, so you can, for example, turn lights on and open and close doors, you know. Occupancy sensor, I believe, is for the current grid slot in which you are, the world grid, like not reacting, not reacting, not reacting, beep, reacting. And then there is the motion sensor. I'm not sure what that does. You can look this up in the Stationpedia, of course. And then there is the gas sensor, which is what we need for an airlock. The gas sensor tells us the things that the tablet also tells us. The pressure, the temperature, and all the gases inside. We can check all of that. So wire that up straight, nice. Yep. Now we have a connection between the vent, the gas sensor. We have electricity. All we need still, the doors are also connected. All we need still is the board. And where is it? God damn it, I threw it in. Oh, there it is. So, and now we need some glass to seal this up, and there's our display. error in config. What does this mean? Well, the airlock just doesn't know what the outside and inside door is. We have to configure that. And actually which sensor it is. There might be multiple sensors here. This thing will show in its list all devices that are connected to this electricity network. And this network begins not here but here. That's the input side of our APC, which is not just for having some battery buffer for electricity, but also starts basically a new electricity network. Since it shows all devices, we have to select the ones that are relevant for this thing. But how do we configure it? Well, for that we need the data disk. That's a very essential thing. The disk doesn't actually store anything. It's just, I don't know, it's like a key. And there are some devices that have slots for disks, for example the active vent, and these are not utilized yet. Which means that once you don't need the disk anymore, you may just store it up there. And then you may search for it and never find it. So, the sensor, the console. Let's put it in. The slot is on the bottom side, and since I can already see the slot from indoors, but that's not a problem because the click box is visible anyway. So, and here we can see it. We have the gas sensor. On the left side, we see the name of the object. You might think that is the title, the type of the object, but that's not true. This thing has the name gas sensor because it is a gas sensor, but I can rename it.
Power low.
And on the right side we see what interpretation the device will have. So if I click on this thing, this gas sensor will be the sensor. But we have a little problem. And the problem is that we also have to select the inner and outer door. Now look here, glass door exterior, glass door exterior. Huh? What the now I have the labeler here, which allows me to name devices. Oh, if I hold it in my hand. So let's say Airlock outer. This is not how I would do it. You know, I'm a programmer kind of guy, so I would do something like Airlock 1_door_outer or something. But you know, that's not necessary now. Airlock door outer. And you just saw that we can select the text and copy and paste it. It has full clipboard support with Windows in now, which makes it very convenient. And now here we see airlock outer inner. What the fuck? I think I just done goofed. Oh yeah. Dorr. Turn that off, we don't want to waste battery. So, airlock door inner, exterior, and airlock door outer, exterior. You have to remember the following. Whenever you configure a simple airlock like this one, or the advanced airlock, when you're clicking the doors, the first one that you click will be assumed to be exterior. That's kind of insinuated here by both of them saying exterior. So, let's take the outer door, which is actually the exterior, and click it. This is now highlighted as assigned as the exterior, and the other will now be offered to be the interior. Quite simple, right? Active vent and the sensor, and then we pull out the disk, and that's the airlock. It's closing the door, and then it's doing something wicked. I'm not sure what this is. I think it's trying to pressurize the room within which we are to the default of 101 kilopascals, which it can't because there's not so much gas in the pipes. Or there is also not so much air in the room. I mean, if instead of the pipes we had some pipe cowl there or some passive vent. The passive vent, by the way, is basically this device, except it's not really just not a device, it's just a thing with holes, you could say. We can cancel this process and then it opens. And we can click this button again. We can click here to cycle, or we can click here, it doesn't matter. Room is being sucked dry, door opens, and hello, we're satisfied. The only thing that sucks, haha, is this repressurization cycle. And there's actually a fun fact about advanced airlocks. This is a simple one. The advanced airlocks also allow to configure in this and that section what the pressure should be, you know, the repressurization. And I usually set that to 0, so it doesn't even try to repressurize. It just produces the vacuum from into one side, and then it opens the other side, and I'm in. Then there will be some explosive decompression, but that's just a minor event which will push around some things that are rolling around on the floor. And that's a very fast airlock then. I cannot do that with a simple airlock, so for the time being we just have to click on this cancel button every time. So, up you go. Yeah, and we have some disorder here, don't we? I mean, all that stuff lying around out there, we should haul that inside. I mean, there is no storms on the moon, but seriously, if NASA would see that, they would kick me out. So, let's have some order here, right? To reiterate, the airlock was really simply done. I put up the empty console thing, I stuck the board in, which was just a simple airlock, you know, an airlock. I could have used the advanced airlock too, then I would have had 2 of these active vents, one pumping in this direction, one pumping in that direction, and that's basically all. You would have to assign those and then you're done. And with a disk, yeah. Yeah, let's have some order. Here we have a locker. That was part of our nice gear. We have tables. Let's not get to those. Let's first do some setting up here. We can put the lockers outside. And it's again a kit. I mean, most people would use these ones, which are just big, spacey storage space holders. But there are also smaller ones. One for the corner, or something that you can, a rack, and a small rack, or a vertical rack, and so forth. I want to get all my stuff inside, and I want to be a bit orderly about it. Oh right, that. We will deal with that eventually. Let's put them up here. They don't seem to be in the way too much. Actually, what am I saying? Them is only one. Because both these lockers go into this one locker building here, because it's a large one, and so it takes 2. I will tell you that when you try to build it. Okay, let's pause the video. I will lock all that stuff inside and create some order, and then we continue with the Autolathe. Ah, that's awkward. Okay, we're back. I got all the stuff inside, and it looks kind of crowded, but most of these boxes are empty. So let's reduce them to nothing. Or rather, screw those boxes, right? Whoops, wrong. Nothing in here. See, the stack is growing. Now I still have this one and that one. I will not tamper with them because those are actually relevant. Here we have all the things that we can plant. Fern, rice, mushrooms, corn, wheat, pumpkin, soybean. I can tell you something about some of these. You should plant potatoes first. They grow fastest and they work well as food, as anyone knows who has ever eaten French fries. And then here we have mushrooms. They are special. They grow only in absolute darkness and they need nitrogen. Oh, no, wait, I might be wrong about this. There was one of these that needed actually oxygen and excreted CO2. I think it was the mushrooms, not sure. And then we have the ferns, which, you know, that plants usually consume CO2 and excrete O2, which is very useful. These ferns do that much more than, for example, the potatoes. So, and also the ferns can be used to create these pelts here. And currently we didn't even need our first one, but over time you will probably experience that sometimes you do need one, you know. Okay, then we have the hydroponics here. It's just a beginner thing, you know. There are different variants of these. You can install them and with water pipelines and everything. But this one is just a little box. It needs some water, by the way. Do we have water? Yep. Here we have a canister of water. And we have an eclipse. Let's put that away. Where is my... Huh. Damn it. Where is my tablet? There it is. You can see here this thing has a capacity of 12 liters and inside of it are 10 liters and they are 20 degrees, which is good for the plants. And yeah, actual liquid H2O. Water. Don't forget to turn that off. And if I stick it in here, then we could now put plants in here. But I think we should establish our station a little bit more thoroughly first. I don't want to risk any of these seeds. And you should never plant. You should never put all your eggs. Put all your eggs in one basket. You know, I have 3 potato seeds, so I could plant 3 of them. And then something goes wrong. The plants are dead. I have no more potato seeds. That doesn't mean I will never have potatoes. There are other means to get to those, but which is trading. That's the only other means. But you know, let's do it right. So we don't need that one now. So, and this is like the remaining important stuff that we should actually deal with. For example, I saw that we actually have an advanced airlock chip. I could put that in there right now, but we need an active vent for that, and then we can set our target pressures to 0, and then we don't have to push the stupid button every time we go through that airlock. But not now. And then here we have the arc furnace. That is actually an important thing, and I will build that right now to show you what we need that for. Cycle the airlock. Oh, by the way, another thing. I have my helmet open, and you can see here that my air tank is not counting down, even though I still have my my air turned on. You know, it's still on, so clicking here would turn it off. Why is it not counting down? Because the situation within which I find myself is too compatible for the suit's well, settings for the suit to actually do anything about it. So I'm not wasting any oxygen. But if you want to be safe, when you're indoors, you should just turn all 3 of these off, you know? And then, then probably when you leave out through the airlock, you will close the door and you will... Oh, low pressure, right, I have to close my helmet. Good thing I thought of that. Good thing I thought of that, right? Except there's a problem, I forgot to turn on my filters and stuff. Which I will learn in time. Anyway, here's the arc furnace. What does it do? It turns ore, like here, the metal ore, into metal ingots. You know, the classic thing that you know from any crafting game. Of course, it's slightly differently here, but slightly different. What's happening? All right.
Temperature low. Oxygen critical.
And problem solved. So, this arc furnace, where should I wire it? Does anyone know? Obviously not to this one, because then it's dependent on immediate energy. But I would rather make it dependent on my stored energy. So, yeah, let's place the thing here. It's a bit ugly, but, you know, gets the job done, gets the job. Is that a good placement? I can still pass through this, yep. By the way, if you have small openings like these and run through them very fast, you might actually damage your suit, for which then you want to have one of these rolls, so it's bad if they are behind glass and I can't reach them when I need them. You know, then you hold them in your hand and you click the right mouse button and you hold it until you are completely wrapped up, until your suit and helmet are repaired, and then you can move on for now. They're not good as new, but you know, you can survive. Let's connect the arc furnace and use it. It's a bit fugly, but we're trying to survive on the moon. I know no one's gonna complain about that. Nah. If so, then fuck them. So, Now the furnace is technically powered. When I turn it on, it will consume energy right away. Not much, but something. And there's something to keep in mind at the beginning of the game, when at the beginning of your life here, when you want to be careful with your energy. The placement is a bit awkward, I would say, but that's not a problem, because we can just extend this space, and I need some of that, and some of this. Now it's much less awkward. Okay. So let's smelt something. Let's smelt the entire stack of iron. Now you see that there is some, obviously some gas stuff is happening here, some atmospherics. Let's see what that might be. We can see here there's some CO2 and there's also some pollution. Now if you study the Stationpedia, then we see that iron ore actually has some carbon dioxide and some pollutant. And that's what you're seeing here. That's being excreted. This can actually be useful. Some metals have interesting stuff. Gold, for example, has oxygen. Okay, what's the next step? What shall we do? We need food. We should have a stable atmosphere in there, which we do have, so we could actually plant that stuff already. It's rather early in the game, but still, why not? Oh, it's already done. Iron is really smelted quickly, but other stuff takes longer. Yes, the next step should be the manufacturing machines. So let's build the Autolathe. And now we have a little phenomenon here. What you can see is... yeah, whatever. What you can see is there's some atmosphere here that we didn't expect. There's some pollution. Where did that come from? Well, very simple. It came from the arc furnace. It was running right in front of the entrance, so that was streaming everywhere, including into this space. And since this is not an advanced airlock which separates both atmospheres, but is made only for the moon where there's a vacuum, yeah, now we have this pollution indoors. Let's open the helmet. Apparently it's still little enough that we don't actually have a problem, else the suit would complain. But there's something we can do about that. Because we have the portable scrubber. That is a device that can clean the air. Here you put a filtration thing in this case a pollution filter, and here you can put another filter. It's just convenience that you can, for example, put a volatiles filter or whatever, and then you turn the thing on when there's a battery, and then, yeah. Problem is, we don't have any such filters yet. How do we get to those? Well, we have to start building our manufacturing machines, which could do all these things. And the first one to build is the Autolathe. I will build it as close to the door as possible, because we have a little problem. We only have... oh my god. We only have 6 wires left. Really? Dude, that's a problem. 6 wires are completely not enough to do what I need to do here. Huh. Okay, well, this is gonna be quite interesting. Let's see what happens. So let's build it close to the door. But not outside. So we can come in here. The manufacturing machines, once set up, will usually not be moved around, and you will use them heavily. They basically support your entire game afterwards. This justifies that it is a bit tedious to set them up. What is it that I need next? I need the welding torch and 2 iron sheets. I have both of that. By the way, welding indoors will produce pollution. Currently we have 0.156, or rather, yeah, I have to explain something here for the beginners. Let's say the room would heat up. This would mean that this goes up too, the pressure, even though the amount of gas is not increasing, you know, because the gas is obviously expanding. That is what the game calculates. And But this number here, which actually describes the amount of gas, this will not increase because, yeah, we still have the same amount of gas. So let's look here at this, 0.112 mole.
Temperature critical.
Okay.
Temperature high.
Yeah.
Toxin detected.
Now we have 0.335. That's a little bit more. And we're not even done manufacturing this motherfucker. So, let's see what's necessary. 4 cable. Oh my god. I'm so fucked. I don't know what to do about this yet. But yeah, we will see. There must be a solution somehow, of some sort. And next is, I think, again, the welder with plastic sheets. Yeah, plastic sheets.
Temperature critical. Toxin detected. Temperature high.
Man, it's still too hot in here. Let's close the helmet then. Yeah, it's 53 degrees. Like I said, was it in this video? In this series, from 0 to 50. That's your normal breathing range. Now, I probably have some of this mixture in my suit now, for example, the pollution, and it might actually eventually build up, and then I'd be wondering. So I will just preemptively flush my suit.
Pressure critical. Temperature critical.
So that we're not surprised with it later and don't know what to do about it because we forgot. So this is the... Oh, this is not the Autolathe. That is the Autolathe. And there's actually a Tier 2 version, a modded version, an upgraded version of this, for this device and for the other 4 or 3 devices. Isn't powered yet. Yeah, we need some cables for that, and we only have 2. And that is really awkward. I don't know what to do about that. And now what? I actually have to remove all these cables. That is so dumb. Man. Let's see which cables are best to be removed. Let's remove the cable. This one is actually not 1 cable, but you can see I now have 2 because it was this junction kind of thing that takes more cable. The solar panel is nice power source, but currently I'm a bit in custom demand mode, and so let's, you know, actually, oh man, this is stupid. How do I deal with this? Okay, there's a bug in the game. I mean, there's several bugs in the game, but one of them is if I would now detach the door, you know, cable-wise, I would unbuild it, then the board that is built into this console might actually break irrecoverably. You would have to build a new one, and obviously we can't cope with that at this beginning. Still, specifically since I've wasted all my cables, I can't believe that. So I unassigned them, and now we can remove some of the cables. So mind that the outdoor cable is still connected. Did we use this device yet? I think not. I will turn it on. Nothing happens because there's no coal in it. Let's put some coal in it, but not much, because I don't want to risk wasting all of that. Because it will just keep running, burning through the coal, charging my battery even when the battery is full. So let's not waste that. We're not in a waste situation. And this is in easy mode, you know. In hard mode, you're really running around, baby. Okay, let's connect the Autolathe so that we can turn it on, which will then tell us how much stuff we need to build the hydraulic pipe bender, which we need to make the filters for our... Oh my god. No! Which we need for our air scrubber. But we could also just look in the Stationpedia. I want to build the hydraulic pipe bender. It takes what? The kit hydraulic pipe bender and some other things. The construction is just the same, like for the autolathe. So what does the kit take then? It needs iron, it needs copper, it needs gold. Do I have any gold? No, I do not. So I need to go mining and get that. And I have to smelt it with this device, which is currently not powered by that device. Damn it. And yeah, that. Let's smelt that while we're at it. The coal is burnt out already. How do we deal with this? I guess I will just go and waste our entire oxygen in there, which is not a problem, because look, I have a lot of oxide here. This will also get rid of the pollution. Good thing we don't have the plants yet. See, I mean, you should really get a stable situation going before you waste your seeds, is what she said. So let's power this thing. Where should the cable go? Here? That seems so wasteful. This is absolutely not an example of economic building, I tell you that. Are we done? Is it finished? Is it finished? Okay. Ow! More copper. And the autolathe is born. Let's create, for example, a passive vent. Oh, we can't. That's for the hydraulic pipe bender. Then we need the pipe bender, and we need, but no, we have cable emergency. We need cables, and to make cables, hey, wait, can this thing make cables? Oh my God, it can make cables. I didn't even know that. I always built the electronics thing first, so we're not fucked. I repeat, we are not fucked. So let's make some cables. Go, baby. It will now keep producing cable coils, and apparently it's much slower than the electronics printer in doing so. Otherwise, it would be spitting out cables, because it's not you know, dedicated, focused for that purpose. But it can do these two. That's good. So I can reinstall my stuff. Oh, my battery is empty. To sacrifice some more coal to the Mr. Fallback god.
Temperature low.
Yeah. So then we can wire up everything again. We will have enough cables. That's very good news. This is wired up. This is wired up. Some cables in the making. And then we need gold. Never leave your... Man, I didn't even know that was possible. Can turn this on directly. Never leave your tools lying around. You will search for them, and then you won't find them, and then the whole game hinges on that, you know. You can actually make a labyrinth level for other people if you strip them of their tools, and have fun getting through that. Let's stop the production for now. When you have something bigger that you produce, which will take a while, as opposed to these cable coils, you can just set this thing to go and then just click on the left or right arrow, which selects a different recipe, and then it will abort after the currently ongoing production. Turn off, because it too, of course, consumes energy. Now restore this charging thingy. We will need that in there eventually. That goes here. That goes here. And let's burn some more iron. Where's this done? Damn. So the Airlock is fully wired up again, it's just not programmed. It is currently completely manual. What will be the next thing to do? I have to get gold. Without gold, there's nothing we can actually achieve. And let's turn this off because I don't want to burn through all the coal. Oh, okay. 2 left. Good thing I went mining earlier and there's some more coal here. But now we need gold. Good thing it's day. You can see further during the day. Behold, for I can fly. It is not just a belief, it is actuality. I can't see any gold. You can tell from the glittering. Over there's something glittering, but I assume that is silver, right? Probably. Damn it. I don't see any gold right here. Oh. Yeah, that thing. This is actually the good old pickaxe that you know from Minecraft. Or mining, actually. But no one uses that. Turn off the lights, save battery. I think I forgot to turn off the area power controller. It's gold, yeah! So we're currently wasting battery, but we have the sun, we have the solar panel, so we're kind of fine. And yeah, of course, you want to eventually put up more solar panels and possibly even other sources of power. On the moon there are not so many, but you can, for example, use the gas fuel generator on top of the solid fuel generator. The solid fuel generator burns coal, and there's also charcoal, which I've never used, so I can't tell you about that. I actually also never used the gas fuel generator so far. There's also yeah, wind turbines, not useful here, and there was something. What was it again? It just slipped my mind. There's of course the Stirling engine, which I also haven't used yet, but that's not the one I meant. There was something else. Hey, let there be light! Come on, get your timing right, reality. Here we go. How much gold do we have? 40. 40 is good. We can do a lot with 40, but I see more glittering in the distance. That is where we want to go. That is actually 0 degrees. That's fine. I can actually remember 0. Yes. I will pause this for a moment. Okay, I didn't expect this at all. We didn't just get 1 full stack of gold, but 4. And I have to abort this now because I'm full. Unbelievable. Gold is not so very easy to come by. And I just got 4 full stacks. That will make things easier. Let's smelt some of that. In you go. What does the energy say? We're relatively fine. Let's swap that with my own battery. For I am greedy. So, we have 1 locker full of stuff. That was all in our landing, in our lander. Here we have some paints, which we can also create easily with the tool manufacturer later. And what are they good for? Well, decorative purposes, but also, I mean, if you have 10.5 cables and pipelines and so forth, you might want to color code them. Then we have tables, which actually electrify, so you can install, for example, the microwave on it, which you can use to bake potatoes, so that they give you more food instead of the raw potato. This I already talked about. This can repair your suit when it's broken. This is the crates that I unbuilt from the lander. There was an extra wrench in the lander. There we have flags that we can stick into the landscape, which can actually be useful for orientation, but I never bothered to do that. And then we have flares. Now they are very cool. Let's light one up. Let's light one up. So there it is. And it actually excretes heat. So if you have a situation where it's cold, you can actually light these up. They don't produce any waste, and when they're burnt out, they just vanish. And you can, for example, on Europa, where it's minus 160 degree, if you take half a stack of these, 10, and you light them all up in a room that is 5 grids big, you know, 5 of these boxes, it will rise from minus 160 to plus 20. Something like this. So they are quite effective for heating something up. Yeah, there's still much stuff lying around here. I don't like that. Let's produce something with our Autolathe, a locker, because that's what it can do. And we have enough iron to do that. So let's create 2 lockers to build 1 locker. And remember, we only need 2 of these. I need some space. Come on. So. Aus das Ding. Yep. A bit awkward about these lockers is that basically everybody leaves all of them open. I mean, statistically speaking, not mathematically. So, because they're more useful like that. What shall we build next? Since we already have the most necessary thing ever, cables, we could actually first build the hydraulic pipe bender, which can also, for example, produce for us another active vent, and then we can turn this into an advanced airlock. That would be nice. So let's make the electronic printer. What am I saying? Let's make the hydraulic pipe bender. It needs gold. Very little, but it does need gold. Good thing we already have gold. Probably 20 or so. 35. Oh. And go. And this will take a while. So I will probably not observe this. So let's... No? What else do we need? We could use some more solar panels. We can only produce them with the electronics printer that we don't have yet. We will actually later need to cool down this place, for which we will need... I will actually use pipes for that. There are other ways to do that. For example, we have among all these things... where is it? Here, I think. Yeah, the air conditioner. Here, it's a little bit overpowered, that thing. You can switch it to cooling or to heating, and then you can switch it on, and there's a battery in there, and then it will just make the room hotter or colder. But I want to rather go for a more engineering solution on this. Okay. Let's make some space here. God damn it, I don't have enough room. Good thing the hydraulic pipe bender can produce one of the most interesting things for construction purposes, construction materials. For example, these crates, these frames, the iron frames, and the iron sheets. So we could just expand the base. Let's make some more gold while we're at it. This will be really cramped. So little space. Yeah, and one of the most interesting things to build as a beginner is the furnace. That's the thing we should build next. Hey, what's happening? Oh fuck, the battery burned out. So the production was halted, meaning the entire 20, 50 or 60% we already had are now just gone. The materials are still there, they are not wasted by such a process. But man, that sucks. Stop. How much do we have? 1. That's not enough. Do I have some coal on me? No, I do not. So obviously one of the things you want to strive for early on is more energy. because it sucks to always have to go mining for coal and produce. Hydraulic pipe bender. Should we expand this while we still can? I'm not sure. 14 iron frames. Should I do this now? Yes, I will do it. Okay. Or even further, maybe? Yeah, let's do that. I need iron sheets to continue with this operation. I don't have iron sheets. Someone, give me iron sheets. It landed in here, lol. Okay. I can retrieve that later by flipping this lever. I actually never did that during production. I don't know what's gonna happen, but probably nothing good. One coal? Seriously? I can turn this off, no problem, because this is not the source of the power that is being used inside. What's being used inside as source of power is this buffer battery. Yes, I need expansion. Where are my iron walls? Did I use all of them? No, I still have 9. And I will get some back, of course. Because that wall is gonna be unbuilt. I tell you, I hate low gravity. Sigh. I realize that this video is less of a teaching moment than the previous one, but the reason is not so much my situation in the game, I think, but rather the fact that I've just eaten, and I must say my mind is slower after that. So. Ah, crap. One's missing. Unnecessary. Oh, what's that? The hydraulic pipe bender. Give me some iron sheets, please. Thank you. Each iron sheet takes 1 iron. If these were steel sheets, it would only take a 0.5 steel. And the frames too take less steel. So yeah, one should go for steel when possible. But we don't have the furnace yet, which we need to produce steel. Is it still burning? Let's flip that. Pause. Okay, time to continue. Why does it say health low? Because we are under heavy breathing, which expresses that the body is in distress, and the distress is we need to drink something urgently. But I have no atmosphere within which I can drink. So what do we do about that? Is my smelter thing done? Yes, it is. Do I have enough electricity, enough power right now? Yes. So I will just close this door, and then we will waste 2 full stacks of oxide. This is one of those Stationeers moments where you can enjoy the gas simulation. You're getting more pressure, they're moving around in the airstream that they're causing themselves. You see that the pollution is decreasing in percentage because that's what's happening. We get more atmosphere, but the pollution is not growing, so... you can also see that there is more nitrogen now than before, because that's what oxide does. It contains a lot of oxygen, a little bit of nitrogen. So if I would eventually produce the content of my breathing bottle from this mixture in the air here, or from pure oxide, then I would also need nitrogen filters. Yeah, let's build the next stuff, right? So we just made our hydraulic pipe bender, really easily one of the most important things in the entire game. Next to the autolathe, and that's why it's built next to the autolathe. So, oh right, open the helmet, which we can, because the pressure is nice, the mixture is nice, and that little bit of pollution, doesn't matter. So let's drink some. That was also in our lander. And you realize at some point we need to find another source of water, and that's not so hard. On the moon and some other planets you can actually find water ice out there. It's slightly bluish, not as blue as this stuff, and you can put it in a crusher, which we will probably do later. And then there's some water pipe attached, which leads to a bottle filler, and you stick those bottles in, and then you will hear the best sound that the game has to offer, and then you can drink fresh water. So, where is... there it is.
Temperature high.
I'm backing away, because the heat is over there. Now it will dissipate, but I don't have to wait in that heat, right? So, we need some cable coil. Then we need some of that.
Temperature high.
And then screw that. Health is now increasing because the reason that it decreased is has now gone away. Where's some? Oh, we need something to eat. This needs to be wired up. For that we need more wires. So let's make them. Oh, no more copper? Not true. You will notice that the sounds are different now. That's because the helmet is open and we have atmosphere. And that is how the game's supposed to be experienced, you know? You're in atmosphere, you're not wearing your astronaut suit. By the way, we can show that from the outside. There's a third person hotkey mode kind of thing. And actually we can now, you know, take off all that stuff. It still looks completely fugly, but this is a survivable base, right? Except there's no food yet. So... cables. I want more cables, please. Good thing we have more copper. And then I guess we should make the electronics printer. Is there enough room for that over here? That will be a bit close, but it could still fit. Maybe I should have built these more closely, but it's always good to leave some room. Meanwhile, we can also already select the thing. What does the electricity say? It looks fine. How long will this take? A while. But now that we have the hydraulic pipe bender, we can print the active vent for our advanced airlock. We need iron, copper, gold. Iron. Gold. But I have no copper. We have to wait until this thing is finished, then I can take the materials from this device. Can't go out right now. Actually I can. The airlock is functional. Is there something still in the pipes, by the way? There is. It's a little bit of pollution, but also some air. Let's let it out. It's not powered? It is powered, isn't it? Oh, it's not. Right, there's no cable. Hooray, more pollution. Meanwhile, we can already build the passive vent and clean up that pipe insanity up there, because we no longer need those. You have to be careful when you use your tools, because some tools in some situations can be fatal. For example, you might be hitting you might be crowbarring something, and then you can look through that thing that you're crowbarring and you see something that shouldn't be crowbarred, like for example the outside window, and then suddenly you're standing in Vulcan atmosphere at 600 degrees, and that's always a bit awkward. Now this can be turned off. So it will now pump this into the room instead of into the pipes. The gas sensor needs to be oriented differently. How do we remove this? I believe it was the drill, yep. Another active vent over there. This is done. Give me the resources, please. And now an active vent. This little Twitter birdie sound means that it is being discharged. You can also see this here, blue-red, not blue-green. Now another pipe. Do I have a pipe? I do. And remember, the pipes are not open. I still need something on the outside. There are different ways to do this, of course. There are always different ways. But what I will do here is I will just put a pipe cowl at the end of that, and then we have the airlock half done. Come on. Oh. Let's see if I can cheese that. Probably not. Okay. To do that later from the outside. So let's turn this into an advanced airlock, shall we? Remove the airlock board. By the way, if you toss this on the ground and then you use the screwdriver, you can point at the thing, and this supposedly resets it. But if you have the aforedescribed problems where you disconnect the devices and the board is broken, that doesn't help. I would consider this a bug. So I would consider this to be something removed eventually. So we have the advanced circuit board. We have the active vent, this one too. We have 2 doors, we have the sensor, and that's all that's needed. Alright. Close this. Can this work? I think so. So close helmet. Close door. Pump air away. No. This is the right direction. Open outer door. Attach a pipe cowl, which seems to be oriented wrong, but I'm pointing in the right place, so I press the auto rotate key and yeah, that's it. Turn this thing on. Arrow in configuration. The disk. So, oh, now we have a problem. And the problem is that I don't know which of these active vents is which vent in that list. See, that was our explosive decompression. A bit too tame for my taste. I hope they make this more intense in the future, because cheesing every airlock by setting the pressures to 0 and just opening it, I don't know, it feels wrong. So, what did I want to do? Yeah, the labeler. Where is it? Here. Let's copy the name of that and paste it here. Airlock vent end outer vent inner. So let's turn this thing on, configure it. The gas sensor is the sensor. Airlock vent outer is exterior. Huh? What I explained with the doors, like you first have to click the exterior door, the other will then be offered to be interior. The same thing applies to the vents. Vent inner, airlock door inner. I could have done the 2 doors first or the 2 vents first. That doesn't matter. That order doesn't matter. So now we have the advanced airlock. Actually, no, we're not yet done. Let's set the target pressure on both sides to 0 and enjoy the show. Okay, that works, and that was important. Now let's see if we're actually better off. We are. Haha! What a success. Very good. That's the way I like it. Yo, the hydraulic pipe bender.
Power low.
The electronics printer. The something. Let's put the something here. That is a bit close to the wall. Or is it? Oh, that works. Okay. Nice. So my expansion of the base by 2 blocks here was just the right move. And it's a good thing that I didn't do this from the start, because in the beginning we didn't have enough resources for that. What's the next step? Wiring it up. Oh, no. Completing the build. Wires. Oh, my helmet is closed. That's why the suit's not complaining about the heat. What's currently eating my battery? The charger, 5 watts. This one also consumes some power. The doors consume some power. So yeah, we're currently losing battery. So the next goal, I think, after we have set all this up, for example, the electronics printer, very relevant to the rest of the sentence, is some more energy production. Cables, please. Oh my god, I have no more copper. Yes, I do. It's just in a different place. Should have stopped this early. Yeah, what can you automate in this game? Everything, basically. I mean, this input slot is not just something where you can stick something in, like your hand or whatever, or other things, but you can attach a chute to it, into which you can put stuff, and the stuff to be put in can also come from something automated. The same on the output side. You can control and read everything. You can control and read everything here with logic circuits. So yeah, it can also all be automated. But that takes a lot of work. Okay. What just happened is that there was some kind of, I don't know, electric shock or something when I attached this new thing to the circuit, and that is probably the reason that this device had some kind of flash restart and aborted its production. So, what do we want first? I would say, since we need more electricity, we want another basic solar panel. What do we need for that? Iron, gold, copper. The classics. Okay then. Iron, gold, and some copper, please. Oops. Is that enough? Oh my god, it's enough. We can make one? Yeah, let's only make one at first. Only one. And afterwards we produce some more cables, I would say. Would we have some stable atmosphere? We had a problem with electricity earlier, that's why we basically lost all the atmosphere. I think so, at least. So let's not go there yet. I mean, this is easy mode, so the food and water consumption is very low, and we still have plenty of resources. We have 2 bottles of water still, and we have these complete cans of food, even though this one is not yet empty. So yeah. Oh, no, let's produce some cables to demonstrate how fast that is here. Huh? Let's compare that. Oh no, let's not. I don't have the resources here. But instead of these, I will not produce heavy cables, because one of the goals we have ultimately is to produce the station battery and to fill it using the solid fuel generator, which will kill our cable network outside. So yeah. What do we need? We need the furnace. Needs iron and copper. Okay, now we know what happens. Nothing. More iron. More iron still. Do I have some? Ah, damn it. In some machine, maybe? Of course here, huh? Let's see if that works. No. Now, if this were Europa, which has almost pure oxygen atmosphere, but very thin, and is very, very, very cold, then we want to have a means to heat up our base. And actually, as radical as that temperature is, we need a radical way to heat the base, and the reasonable way to do that is to build the furnace in a way that the furnace heats the room, even though it's meant to smelt iron and steel and all that. Oh god. No more electricity. Damn! That sucks doubly. Let's turn off everything that uses electricity. And then remember that we actually have more batteries here. Why shouldn't I use a simple battery for this now? Enough for the airlock. Close helmet. Then we place the other solar panels out there and wire them up with the cables that we forgot inside. And yeah. Seven should be enough. How nice it is to have an automated airlock. And relatively easy to set up, right? I mean, you need to know some rules. You need to actually know a lot of things here. But it's really routine at some point. Producing... Now we have 2 which are producing together over 300 watts. And this battery is already full. What a waste. Fill the next one, please. 1%. 2%. Oh. So, furnace. We want to produce a furnace. I think we have enough electricity coming in from the solar panels that we can actually start the production of the furnace meanwhile. You can see here that we have a power surplus because it's charging, or we can just watch the battery charge. Yep. If I would pull out the battery now, that wouldn't be good. The production would stop because this is the only source of power for this entire thing in here right now. And that seems a bit thin, right? We need, I mean, this is a space station on the moon. What we need is a station-worthy battery. So that's our next goal, to have a proper battery. And I think once we have that, this tutorial ends, because then you have your starting tips, you know, what button to click, the Alt key, what to build first, what things to consider, what funny things can go wrong, how boring mining is with a starting drill, you know, all that stuff. I should also do something about the temperature in here. That's something we should also do together. Let's see. Temperature currently 19 degrees, that's fine. But it's increasing, slowly increasing. The temperature is actually measured in a much higher resolution, it's only displayed in a low resolution, but you can... oh, now it's increased. We can read that out with logic from the gas sensor. Oh, by the way, there is something like a configuration board. I should show you that. Configuration board. Configuration... nicht Sinn, Son. Configuration Cartridge. What does it need? Fuck me sideways. In a railroad tunnel. Where is the iron? There's nothing here. It's all being used here. Ah, we're almost done. So, let's make the configuration cartridge. And put it into our tablet. There's actually an advanced tablet that you can build later, which has 2 of these boards, and you can switch with a button in here. There's not yet a hotkey, but I think one is planned, so, I mean, otherwise that would suck, right? And what you can actually do, it's a bit off topic, what you can do with the advanced one, you can measure its state, whether it's on or off, or which of the cartridges are used remotely, so you can use this as a remote control. You go somewhere on this planet and you turn it on or switch the board, and your station will react in whatever way you have programmed. That's also nice. So, the configuration cartridge. Here you can see whether it's open, arrow state, activate, lock. Let's look at something more clear. What do we expect from the sensor? Well, we expect to tell it the pressure. The pressure here in kilopascals, 52. We know that's correct. Temperature is 293 because all the devices actually measure the temperature in Kelvin, not in degrees Celsius. Kelvin is the same as Celsius, except it's not degrees, it starts at absolute zero. This is the ratio oxygen, which means it's 89%, some carbon dioxide, some nitrogen, some pollutant, and the information in the game is actually more high resolution than this, but we only get shown these values. And whether the air is currently on fire. So, what else can we measure? This configuration cartridge, I don't know if it will stay in the game. I hope something like it needs to be in there because it's very helpful for programming these devices. But let's switch that out again. Go back to what we were doing. Which is... what was it? Oh yeah, the furnace. Okay, the furnace has an gas output, which we need to be able to vent, but we don't want it to vent uncontrollably. I mean, we want to keep the pressure inside, because, okay, let me show you in the station Peter. Since we want to make some steel, This is what it takes. It takes 900 Kelvin and or more, I mean to 100,000, so you can say starting this value and the rest you can forget, and a pressure of at least 1 megapascal. That's easy to achieve. Let's do that then. Okay, I want to be able to vent the furnace. For that I need gas pipes that I connect. I need this valve. It's actually 2 valves. Yeah, I want only 1 valve, so that I have an empty inventory slot once I've built that. And I need a pipe cowl. And I need iron. Man, this sucks to be so stretched on resources. Later, of course, that will be completely different. We're just starting out. I mean, we started with a little lander, now we have a station here. Okay, what's the next step? Pipes, that. I don't have volatiles yet, which I need for the fuel mix. And of course we need some iron, so that oh, and some coal to actually create that the steel. I think I need to go mining. You know what? I will mine for some iron. See you later. Okay, here we are again. I was lucky, found a lot of iron, and actually found some volatiles, which we will need. Oh, that's cobalt. We also need that later. We need everything. So needy. My battery is a bit low. What do we do about that? I have no good idea. It's night, so I can't use the solar things. As you can see, electricity is really a concern. Let's turn that off. It's off, okay. I forgot actually to turn it on. Because what would happen is that this thing, which is the slave to supply everything that's attached, would be sucked dry and would end up in this battery, and so we can't use the airlock anymore or the devices within. So, yeah, the mining drill ran out of power, so I used the battery of my hand drill instead. One thing that you can do later on is you can actually produce wireless batteries and set up a power transmission device, and if you're close enough by, then these batteries will charge. So when you're active in your base, you will, well, all your devices will just charge up, and so not only will you not have to bother with, you know, swapping out batteries when they're empty, but also if a battery was empty when you were using it, you swap it out against another one that you're not currently needing, and then you go back to base, and well, that's all. Because any and all batteries will be recharged, you will not have to worry. Very convenient. So that's, I mean, there are so many goals to be achieved in this game, and I hate that I keep saying game, but that's the fucking word, isn't it? Oh, look at that, we can cheese. What do we want to do? Was the furnace the next step? I think so. No. So we have the furnace. Okay, the rotation of the furnace is a matter of contention. Normally it is built like this, like it's also shown in the tutorial. From the top you throw the stuff in, and on the bottom you get the results. But many people, myself included, prefer to rotate it sideways, so that you can stand in front of it and put stuff in. That's what I want to do here. I don't know where exactly now already, yet. Yesterday, Friday. No, that was wrong. That's good, okay. So we can build it in the ground, which is stupid, so we don't. We can put it here, I guess. It's one of those things where the game is a bit weird, because now it's just levitating in the air, but, you know, let's not take that too seriously. It's not yet constructed completely. We need wrench and 2 iron sheets. Do we have iron sheets? Yes, we have iron sheets. Exactly 2 of them, which seems like a bit too little, I bet. Now we need the welding torch, and guess what? 2 iron sheets. I don't have them. But let's cheese this and just steal some. Can later put them back. Where's my welding torch? And that's the furnace. It's quite the beast. Here you can see the current pressure, none obviously. Maximum pressure is 60 megapascals, just like the pipes. This is how you ignite the furnace. And this is where you can see the contents and also how fucking hot it is. And here you can empty the furnace. So let's do something funny. And I will save the game now for reasons and put actually this full stack of volatiles in there. And that was not the wisest choice. Not just because the furnace is bound to explode eventually, but also because this doesn't have any means of what's the term? Of burning yet, because it's not a fuel mixture, so I have to click through the entire 50 stack. That was stupid of me. I should first have gotten it to burn with a small mixture and then put in the rest. I will click, meanwhile I will put you on pause. Okay, we're back. Let's open again, and now let's put in the oxygen and see what happens. Backing away slowly is advisable. That can't work out well. Everything's destroyed! Yes, it is.
Air tank low.
All that we worked for is gone. Oh, well, most of it. That's one of those moments when you load your previous save game. Be right back. And here we are again. So as you have seen, what you should put in the furnace is a little less than that. Now, I told you there's the problem that ice will melt in your hand. But I think it's cold enough around here. Let's check that. No atmosphere, no sun, cold enough. That I can indeed split the ice into my hand. That should be working. What I can also do as a little trick I will show you instantly, which is, actually not many people know this, when both hands are full and thus the ice or whatever I split will not actually land in my hands but on the ground, if I'm close to this input here,
Power critical.
it will go in. So, split one. Ah, damn it. This is the ignite button, which also means that whatever is currently being put in, but hasn't yet been like consumed by the burning, will be, you know, the chute will be freed. So another volatile. Oh, that was wrong. See, that was the wrong angle. What's that? Power critical, right? Battery's empty. Da da da. Da. Later we will of course only use large batteries or wireless batteries or maybe even nuclear batteries, because those exist too, but they're obviously not so easy to come by. But that's, you know, it's like leveling in a role-playing game. Later you will not say they are not easy to come by, you will just produce them because you will have all the resources for that. Bop. So let's turn this thing on. As I said, the mixture is 2 volatiles and 1 oxide, and now we can see here we have a temperature of over 1000 degrees Celsius and 2 megapascals pressure. That is enough to produce steel. And how do we produce steel? By having, let's look this up again, 3 units iron and 1 unit carbon, which means, or hydrocarbon, which means if I put in 3 full stacks of iron and then 1 full stack of coal, which is what I'm about to do, that gives us a shit ton of steel. Here you can see how it's being consumed. You can actually open the lever right away, and whenever I toss in some iron, it will consume the entire stack, and then the stack will come out as smelted iron, like from the arc furnace. You know, you don't need the arc furnace anymore if you have this thing running already. So you have to, you know, you see how you have to it's a little dance, you know, what you need. You have to manage and balance everything, and that's one of the big fun aspects of this whole thing. Okay, we have three parts iron in there, now 1 part coal. Let's see what this display says, and actually look at the button here, which is currently red. Oh, okay, still red, what's going on? Temperature, 727 degrees, okay, it has cooled down. That was not intended. You will realize that we just put up the furnace without any piping and stuff. That's alright, but we want to put that up later. Some more then. Volatiles, 2 of them. And this. Now this was consumed immediately because there's heat in there, or it's a burning process. I don't actually know what exactly it is. Now you will see the temperature increase further and further, and suddenly it goes green. Because now pulling the lever will give us actually something productive, which is 200 grams of steel. Yeah, baby. And now we will run inside, like the greedy little fish that we are, and produce a station battery. Instantly. I want one. Do we have the energy for that? 62%. Oh, air tank low. Let's deal with that too. But first, tell the electro printer to not be idle. Battery? So there's the large battery somewhere? Oh, it's not here because I need the advanced one. Okay. Kit battery. Needs gold, 20 grams. I have 5 currently. Oh, no, I have enough. Then I need copper, 20 grams. I have 20 grams. Golden! This works! Okay, baby. I don't have to click here because with these resources the thing can't do anything more. Okay, we can see here that I have not so much air left. One way to remedy this is open the helmet since we have breathable atmosphere, and then it should like stop if the circumstances are right. It doesn't stop. It's possibly because the temperature in here has increased, or I don't know what the fuck it is. Anyway, let's turn these things off. So I will no longer waste any oxygen and no longer any electricity, other than with my light. You can of course put up lights on the ceiling and so forth. We might do that later, let's see. But first let's top up our oxygen. Man, it's rather crowded in here, isn't it? By dunking it in here for a moment. Beep.
Air tank critical.
Bob. So you see here, the pressure in here is 7.11 megapascals, and here we also have 7.11 megapascals because, of course, the pressure between these two connected containers was equalized. That is what happened. Here we have 790 liters capacity, and
Power critical.
here we have
Air tank critical.
64 liters capacity. So I can dunk this thing in here often before the pressure will have decreased so much that it's no longer fun. And then what do? Well, we have oxide. We can, what you actually can do is you can throw oxide into this thing directly. But I think there might be some circumstances where it might not actually melt. And also, while it's being consumed, the lid will be open and some of that stuff inside will escape into the room. So that's not the best approach. The better approach is to have an ice crusher, like I said earlier, to crush water ice, to get water. But then in this case you crush oxide to get the other thing. Is the sun coming up? It is. It's discharging still, but this will change soon. Listen for the sound change. Station battery. Ah, the sun is high enough that it produces enough electricity that all our consumers are now being outweighed, which means it's time to show how much electricity we actually require to charge these motherfuckers. Then we have a solstice, alright, I will not do this, no. The station battery needs some iron sheets. Remember, we needed some of those. For that we need iron, which we don't have. Gold, steel, iron, yeah, we do. Yeah, and then there's a little problem of the wiring, right? that we have to deal with. I will try to prepare for that so we don't run into that and everything's broken. Because electricity is kind of important. You will realize that this is a rather relaxed playthrough, right? But I tell you, when you play higher difficulties, everything is much more under pressure, and that is quite the thrill. I have done so many of these. Every time is just super awesome, and they will add more survival stuff than there is in the game already. So yeah, much fun is to be had. So, where was I? Turn that on. Oh, it's discharging. Can I produce more of the heavy cables right now? We need gold, we need copper. No, wait. Heavy. Thinking and doing, two different things. Gold and copper. We have no more copper. And I have no more battery. Guess what? We need to go mining. Man, I'm so looking forward to having deep miners. But that's far out. We're not there yet. What's the next steps? I need to mine some copper, smelt it, have some more heavy cables. Can also already put up the heavy station, the big station battery. Maybe we first want to deal with the furnace, like I said earlier. It still has in it a pressure of 8 megapascals and over 600 degrees Celsius, or 500 over 500. Yep. No, okay, over 400. We can just release that here. We can just slap a pipe cowl on that thing, and if we're done, we unbuild it. But it's more elegant, of course, to use that with to do that with a valve.
Oxygen low.
What's going on? Why do we have an oxygen problem?
Oxygen critical.
I'm not sure. Let's go inside and resolve the problem.
Temperature low.
All right. I need to turn these on. Okay. Later you will get. You can build a heavy suit, which is actually your default on Vulcan and Venus, and that has a chip slot. You can put a chip in there, and you can actually program that thing to detect your surrounding environment and open and close the helmet automatically and set the filters on and off automatically. So yeah, in other games you level up and then you can one-hit some standard enemies, and in this game instead you get some more convenience and more possibilities. And you have seen nothing yet. I mean, it's just the beginning. Pump. Let's demonstrate the thing with the pipes, just for fun. We have 3 connections here. We have the output, which we need now. Then we have input, where we can just pipe in hot gas. I think we can actually use any gas as long as it's hot enough to smelt something. And here's an output for liquids. I don't know if that's actually needed. I think so. Maybe if this thing is cold enough and things condense. Not our concern right now. Let's build a little chimney here. With a valve. And the valve is a kit. Let's look at the members of the kit. So here we have the standard valve that we will need just now. Then we have the expansion valve, which is what was it? That is needed when you have you can see the symbol on the left. That is for water, for liquid pipes. On the right side there would be a gas pipe. Gas pipes are the default, that's why there is no special symbol or special mention for them. So you can have liquids expand to being gas again, and if that happens, then you could use one of these devices here to ensure that they're actually transported into a gas pipe instead. Then we have the condensation valve, which is the exact opposite of that. Then we have the one-way valve, which just means that stuff on one side will go to the other,
critical.
but not vice versa. And then we have the, guess what, the valve. Okay. I like to put these so that the lever points into the direction where the gas is supposed to be going, so that the intention and purpose of this valve, so not like this, is being shown. That's not important, of course, but, you know, we're engineers, right? I guess. Come on. Where'd you go on that thing now? And let's open it. And now you see that it's all being excreted. At considerable temperature, 300 degrees. Now you actually hear my jetpack louder because there's some atmosphere here. Isn't that a cool simulation? And the pressure is slowly decreasing. There are ways to make this faster, but let's not go into that now. And I will actually close this again. So. And let's pause the video. I will go and get some copper. I actually got some copper and even some lead, more than I bargained for. Lead can be used together with iron in the furnace to create solder, which is used for some electric devices. Maybe I should weld this up here. Oh damn, I don't have the sheets with me. Sheet. Electricity, not good. 0%. There's too little percent in my taste. Right, what I wanted to do actually was to smelt the copper. So what am I doing now? Confused. And let's put up the station battery. So this is a power plant section with cables, and then I put the station battery, I think, right here. If you look at the Ghost, you see 3 connections. On the right side you see the usual separation of electricity and logic, which sometimes is there and sometimes isn't. In this case it is. And on the other side you see the arrow going in, and that is also exactly the way we want it. This is our power plant, so the electricity goes in there, and on the other side we have the output. So actually we accidentally, I mean really, placed all this stuff not so badly. It's a bit cramped, but you know, we'll manage. Now you see it's already yellow because some placement is already to its liking. Here we have the input, and here we have the output, and that provides data connection, the one that we're not interested in right now. Later we would connect this so that we have like 10, 20, whatever station batteries, and then we can read the ratio of each of these and the average of them. That's only one function to get the average. And then we can see our overall station energy status, which is a good thing to know. Okay, now let's weld this up. God damn it, I forgot again. My sheets are inside. Confuse it, confuse it. Seven iron sheets. That and the screwdriver, and then we turn this thing on, and then it's flashing. What the fuck is it flashing? I don't know actually. Okay, if there would be any energy input, it would now begin to charge, and it can hold a shit ton of electricity. I mean, it's like 100 times or even more than these small ones. You can look this up in the Stationpedia, how much exactly it is. And our setup here doesn't have to change. We can keep it like this, you know, with this wiring. Why not? But here we need heavy cables, so the entire section here needs to be connected with heavy cables. We can of course use another APC, which we actually do have. We don't have to produce one. I think it would need solder, and I don't have solder yet, to keep small cables here. You know, if you keep putting more solar panels over here, then we don't have to produce the expensive heavy cables we can just leave the solar panels as is, as long as we don't make too many of them. 500 watts, if you have 10 of them, it's 5,000 watts, and you know that's the limit of these cables, so we can only use 10, and then that's over with. So maybe we should just go for heavy cables and forget about it, and that's generally the way people approach this. How many heavy cables do I have? Currently too few, but we can produce some now. And then we will bask in the glory of the station battery. And then that's the end for this tutorial video. Come on, where did I want to go? Heavy cables. How many do I have? Ah, here.
Waste tank caution.
Yeah, that's the thing we didn't have yet, the waste tank. See, the waste tank is where...
Power low.
Shut up. Where your CO2 goes when you are done breathing, you know? You breathe in some oxygen, you breathe out the same amount in a mole of CO2 that goes into the waste tank, and the waste tank, when it reaches 3 megapascals, there will be a warning, and when it reaches 4 megapascals, then that's the level as far as these inner workings, as far as the pump and such can go, which is a bit weird, but I think they will probably change that later. And then you can no longer put the waste away, and then you will eventually have no oxygen in your suit. So that needs to be dealt with. And the most meaningful way to deal with that here is... Let's first turn that off. We're wasting. The most meaningful to deal with that is we click on this thing, and then we can see open. Okay, what happens then? Well, it will open that bottle, and then the content will be in the environment. And what was in there was almost only CO2 and a little bit of oxygen. So that's what we're really friends with in here. So why not? Also, a little bit more CO2 is not bad at all, because later we want to put up plants, and the least they need, I think, is like 1%, and they will breathe that CO2 away. Not quickly, but they will. And so they will basically kill themselves by suffocation, just like we do in our suit here. Let's drink something. When you play on Stationeer difficulty, which is what you should eventually, you will be very annoyed by the constant drinking and eating, which you have to constantly do, and there's no remedy for this other than to mod the game. Now this sounds a bit heavy-handed, but the term mod can mean many things, and in this game, for the purpose that I just described, modding means just to put basically an XML file in a certain folder, and then you start the game again, and then you will have the ability to choose a different difficulty, or for example to edit into your world file of your save game, which is also just XML text, you know, into a certain place, the keyword that refers to the new difficulty that you created, and so you will be able to play on the chosen Stationeer heavy difficulty with reduced food consumption. So it's time for the station battery, so let's put up the fucking cables. Still night, so we're not wasting sunlight. Our setup is actually quite optimal. Might be the best setup I've done so far, and I wasn't even trying. Random, huh? So, yeah, let's start the fun right now. Turn on this motherfucker, and you see the thing is charging.
Power low.
And henceforth our energy problems are basically gone, at least on the small scale that we're currently living. Because this thing can store so much energy. Then we add a few more solar panels and then we're set. Let's weld this up again. Obviously, the use of this welding torch decreases the gas canister, so we have to have a setup later where we can create welder gas and swap our bottles, you know. Of course we will do that, because we can have pumps and filtrations and actual filters and pipes and valves and sensors and automatism and logic and so forth and so on. Yo, station battery has been charged slightly, not too much, but alright. Now turn all of this on again. Charge some more for I have no coal. No coal. Goodbye for now.